Hello, everyone. This is Savana Shaltry with Om Your Day. I'm a yoga instructor and a meditation instructor, and I also do something called Thai yoga massage as well. And here with me today is Trent May with May Financial. Hi, Trent. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing well. It's a nice day. It's looking to be a nice day. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, the sun this morning is just like you can't beat it. So Trent always prepares three questions to ask me randomly, and we just have a lot of fun, really, don't we, Trent?
Oh, yeah. And I encourage others to get in on the fun. If you have random questions for Savannah, she loves to answer
I know. Yeah. Come on, people. Mahmood did it.
them. All right. So, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Bring it.
All right. I know you're going to say something about inner peace. Get that out of your mind right now. Um, if push comes to shove, name three ways that you would use mashed potatoes as a weapon.
Oh, dang.
So push comes to shove, you have to. Like it's your only weapon available to you. How are you using mashed potatoes as a weapon?
I mean, I guess like my first thought was a good old food fight, just like scoop it up in my hand and like toss it. This could get kind of like dark. I was thinking of like, while someone's sleeping, you could like put it in their ear. That would be awful. And then um maybe this is kind of more like practical jokes, but I guess that can be like a weapon of sorts. Like maybe put it in someone's chair, like their office chair,
There you go.
something like where they sit in it, or like out, like at the edge,
It,
not the edge of their bed, but like on their floor. So like when they wake up in the morning, they've got like warm mashed potatoes they step in.
in the shoes would definitely be.
In the shoes. That's a
Yeah.
great one. Yeah. I think that those are my three.
Okay, I like it. All right. So, other than eating mashed potatoes, um, what are some things you do when you feel stress is coming on? Like, what's your go-to? Like, okay, stress is coming on. I need to do this right now.
Um, I try to. I think like the immediate thing is to identify it, to realize that it is stress. Um, and then I've like this year especially, like I've really been trying to change my like self talk.
Okay.
So, as whereas before, I would kind of like default to like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. I have to get this done. I need to find an answer to this problem.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you figure it out? Like you've got way too much on your plate. This is just another thing. Like those are, like old paradigms, I guess, that I would kind of like play in my mind. And now I've changed it to like, everything's okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, and a lot of times when find ourselves in a stressful moment, it's because we're feeling like we need to do something. We
Mm-hmm.
need to get something done or accomplish something, and that kind of like goes back to like, this day's not going to be okay if I don't get this done, which is kind of a
Mm-hmm.
lie. Like the days are always okay. Usually, I mean, there are those like occasions where we do have like, emergencies and whatnot and things that happen to us that aren't okay. But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time when we're stressed out, it's really not as emergent as we feel it to be.
Mm-hmm. Make it more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We like to we like to add hurdles for some reason. Like we just need more.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, yeah, just like being able to tell myself this is stress, you know, um being present with yourself, like as in, listening to your breath, feeling it in your body, like noticing like where am I feeling this in my body. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I mean, there's so much information out there on the interwebs
Mm-hmm.
that says when you're feeling an emotion, like in a negative emotion, The minute you define it, the minute you become aware of it, is the minute that it starts to diffuse. Now you can define it, diffuse it, and then refuel it. So it's just really kind of paying attention to, you know, once you identify it, paying attention to your body, like asking yourself what you're doing right now, or like, what am I thinking, that is causing this? Like, what am I telling myself? That's
Hmm.
kind of perpetuating this feeling.
Okay. I always like, you've mentioned this before, that you always kind of, whatever it is, you always kind of start by identifying it. And I think that's such a key thing, where it's just, I think sometimes we just like, oh, that sucks, move on, whatever. Where you actually take the time to stop and say, this is stress, or this is anxiety, or whatever the case may be. You actually stop and identify it.
Yeah. When you can put a name to something, then you know what it is. Like um, I was kind of thinking about this earlier today. It's like, how long have you lived in your body? How long have you lived with your mind? Right?
Hmm.
So, like, forever, always. And
Hmm.
so that means that you really do know um how your body your body's relationship with those emotions. And so, like, the minute that you can identify it, like I said, it kind of diffuses it stops giving it power, because then you can be like, oh, this is anger, and when I get angry, I feel this like um this energy that's just like, it's building up and building up and building up. And maybe I'm doing it right now, clenching up your fists. Like, there are things that we do naturally because of, you know how we've created like these patterns in our bodies and our minds. And once you can identify it, then you can catch the signs of, okay, my breath is short in my chest, I'm feeling really tense in my shoulders. And then you can choose to relax, to
Mm.
take a deep breath, to change the course of the
Mm.
emotion. And like what I was saying with mindset, or like changing your mindset, a lot of it is like soothing. When you say it's okay, like, to yourself, like, everything's okay right now. It's not
Hmm.
really that big of a deal. I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of pissed off right now, but the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a deal. And so you're like soothing, like you're identifying, being present with it, and then soothing yourself into a different emotion.
Okay. I like it. Yeah.
And
Identify it.
I
And
don't
then.
always do that. Just FYI. Like, my son called me a guru the other day, and I was like, that is so not true. So, people, I slip up all the time. I'm human.
Ah, take it. If your son calls you something positive, just take it.
Yeah, I know. It was nice, but I didn't want him to like feel like I was setting this bar, that's like totally imaginary. So,
All right, so since we're kind of talking about stress, um, what would be some techniques that someone could utilize when they feel that stress come on, as far as either yoga or mindfulness? What are some easy go tos they could go to
Mhm.
get that ball rolling to kind of untighten that stress?
Yeah. So, I was talking about, like, you being in your body your whole life, right? And you being
Mhm.
in your mind your whole life. That's like, you better than anyone else. And so, if you find yourself being like in chronic stress, overwhelm, anger, any of those like negative emotions, which we can't get rid of, I mean, we're human, right? They're always going
Mhm.
to be there. But if you find yourself like living day to day, kind of stuck in that space, um, something that would help is to create a relationship with the other emotions, like calm
Mhm.
and, content. And so, just taking some time every day and sitting with yourself, honestly, and breathing. Just, breathing. Like, I've said this before, placing your hand like on your chest and one on your stomach so you can really feel your body. You can feel your breath. You're listening to your breath. And so what you're doing is you're strengthening a different pattern, a
Okay.
different habit. You're building that relationship with that sense of calm. You're building that relationship with relaxation. And so when you get in those moments of stress and you identify it, you become aware of your body, then you can start implementing those techniques that you've been practicing. And so the thing is to do it when you're not angry, because when you are angry and you're just like, my son will be like, just take, I can't just take deep breaths, and it's because when you're angry, it takes, this camera is backwards. How do I do this? So like to get from here to here, there's a big gap, right?
hmm
So if you're doing this outside, like outside of being in that emotion of anger or stress or whatever it may be, then you're building that relationship with that emotion, which means it'll be easier to access when you find yourself in a space that is stressful.
Okay.
So techniques would be just sitting with yourself and breathing, just listening, um, you know, and at first you might find it difficult. You might find like thoughts are just coming in, and that's okay. That's perfectly normal. And I tell my clients, think of yourself as like a scientist. Like if a scientist was out looking, like studying new plants, like or studying a new flower, the scientist wouldn't look at the flower and be like, well, that's a weird color of orange. Like, you know like he would just note in his notebook, it's orange. And so when you sit with yourself and a thought comes in, this is a mindfulness practice. We don't judge the thought. You just notice it as a thought, like, um, my hip hurts. So like that comes in. I'm not used to sitting in crisscross and my hip hurts.
hmm
So you notice it come in and then you just let it go out. Meaning you don't give it, you don't fuel the thought and create like a judgment with it.
Okay.
And then yoga poses, just when you're any yoga poses you can do, maybe just, excuse me, sitting in tabletop, or being in tabletop and doing cat cow, and that's where you inhale, and this camera's really screwing with me, cognitive issues here. So
Yeah,
so
these
like you're,
cameras, the backwardness of these
I
cameras,
know.
just mess me up.
The mirror, I'm trying to demonstrate something and I'm all confused here. So like cat or cow pose is when your spine dips down towards the floor, and then cat pose is when it curls like this. And so just doing that, like, being with your breath, like moving your body with your breath and just paying attention to how your body feels, because you're going to feel easy and relaxed if you're paying attention to your breath and just doing subtle movements like that.
Okay. Very, very cool. All right, well, Savannah, thank you for going back on the spot today. Um, Thank you for the insight on stress. I think that's something that everyone relates to.
Yes, everyone does. We just got a comment. Yay. I can do the cat. Oh wait, I can do the cat, but not the cow. Okay, Betty, I would love to message you. I can message you when I get off of this video stream, and then we can chat about it. Maybe I can give you some pointers. How's that sound?
Yeah, so Savannah will be reaching out to you.
Yep.
All right, well, thanks, Savannah.
All right. Thank you, Trent. You have a wonderful day.
You too.